So good evening to everybody and welcome once again to my live broadcast. Like always, so how is everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing very well, doing good. Man, how many of you missed me yesterday? Yesterday I did not go live, I did not post anything because I had a lot going on. I did a lot yesterday. I'm going to tell you guys how my yesterday went. So I'm going to tell you guys how it went. But before I do that, I'll wait for more people to join me before I begin to tell my stories. So guys, where are my homies at? Where are these people? Every one of these lovely people, these amazing people of mine. Where are these amazing people of mine? But sometimes, just want to take a break from this social media. Sometimes there are times you just, take a day or two free. You don't want to stress yourself. You don't want to, keep your brain busy, searching for content to create and things like that. Just want to sit, think about life, eat food, sleep, and be happy you are alive. Now, let me tell you guys a story. So yesterday I went outside. Well, I want to wait for more people to join us before I start. I don't want my guys to miss this interesting program. I don't want my guys to miss the broadcast. Yes, I don't want nobody to miss the broadcast. So, but then, if you are seeing me for the first time, don't forget to follow my page. I'm also broadcasting live on YouTube. So you can always rewatch my program on YouTube, not on Facebook. You know what I mean? Kale, how are you doing? I think that is Kale. Good to see you. So you can always rewatch my videos on my YouTube channel at Uncle RODDY. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, God's last born, I see you. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you. So you can always rewatch my broadcast on my YouTube channel. I'm broadcasting live. So on YouTube and on TikTok. That is how I do it now. Facebook tried to frustrate me. Each time I run a live stream on Facebook, they will flag it down. So I decided to change. I cannot be laboring in vain. I decided to be broadcasting on YouTube. That's it. Even YouTube is even more better. So then, yesterday, no, that was on Saturday evening, my children informed me that there is going to be an African Cup of Nations tournament in Vienna. That is, let me explain it very well to you guys. Men, to be honest, it is good sometimes you go outside to know what's happening around you or what is happening in your city. Don't just sit at a place and make conclusions. Don't sit at a place and assume. You got it? It is good you go outside and see things for yourself. You got it now. It is very important. You know, I'm somebody that like to sit at home most times. I don't keep a lot of friends. I'm a man that stays on my own most times, you know, if you watch me. Maybe because of age or things like that. And I learned something yesterday, and I'm going to share it with you all. I learned something yesterday, and I'm going to share it with you all. So, if you watched my videos, if you've been following me, you'll see I make videos based on my, as I see you, I make videos based on my past experiences, the things I witnessed growing up. You understand me? What I've seen, racism and things like that. I did not know that things are changing rapidly. Just share this broadcast. Yesterday, I was shocked. Yesterday, to be honest, I was shocked yesterday. I'm telling you. So, guys, I always say that life is a learning process. You keep learning as long as you are alive. So, on Saturday, my children informed me that there was going to be African Cup of Nations tournament in Vienna. I said, African Cup of Nations tournament. He said, just a replica of African Cup of Nations in Vienna. That Africans living in Austria, both the ones that were born here and the ones that immigrated to Austria, are holding African Cup of Nations. That is a version of it. Do you understand me? Not the real one, but they just want to replicate it here in Austria. And it has to be a yearly kind of a tournament. So, yesterday, we dressed up ourselves. They said it's going to start at 3 p.m. In the afternoon. So, around 3 p.m. So, before 3 p.m., we went there in 10 district of Vienna. Man, even from the inside the train, the number of African people I saw inside the train shocked me. The number of African people I saw on board that train shocked me. You see, my children told me where the occasion was going to hold, the tournament, the football tournament was going to hold. So, I mean, as we were going to the stadium, the whole streets were filled up with African people up to the stadium in 10 districts. When I got to the stadium, I could not believe that this is all Vienna. Since I've been living in Vienna, I've never seen that number of African people. Since I've been living in Vienna, I did not know that black people, produced so many children, gave birth to so many children in Vienna. I'm talking about Vienna where we live. I was shocked. I not post all the videos. I just posted some sense of the tournament. You know what I mean. If you go to my, what's it called? You can watch it on my YouTube or my TikTok or my Facebook. I posted it also on my Facebook. I did not know that black people give birth to so many children in different forms. With black to black, mixed children, with Asians, with Arabs, with Indians. Man, I was shocked. This is why it is good. I learned that. I told you guys, I'm a man who is willing to learn. When I went to that stadium, I saw how free black people are in this country. The police were there. In fact, this is home. I'm not telling you a lie. This is home. Things have changed. Well, we did our best. You understand me? Like the videos I'm creating and so many other things. But man, things have changed. You know, I made a mistake. I made mistakes, so to say. Like, there are times my children said, Daddy, that I think like an old school, that things are no longer the way it used to be. Because sometimes, you know, I use my experience or my time to compare their own time. I thought that things are still like that. I'm not telling you that racism is dead. No. Things are still the way there are still, how do I put it now? You still see racist incidents every now and then. But what I saw yesterday made me have a change of mind. I'm not telling you that. So when we went there, I couldn't believe that this number of Africans are living in Vienna. Children within the ages of from all ages. That is from 10 years to 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and grown up men and women. So this African Cup of Nations that we had yesterday was an interesting one. It brought a lot of Africans living in Vienna, in Austria together. But the ones living in Vienna are the ones that participated. See, you see, Egyptians were there. Egyptian team, they were there. And Somalians were also there. Nigerians were there. Côte d'Ivoire, not Côte d'Ivoire, Congo, Zaire, they were there. I mean, they were there. And then which other? Nigeria, Ghana, and the rest. Very interesting tournaments. So it brought a lot of people, party and music everywhere. For some Egyptians that usually say they are not Africans, Egyptians are Africans. We all danced, played like brothers. I enjoyed yesterday. Even I did not wait to watch the last match. But then, there was something I saw that needed my attention, which was our girls. Many of the girls that were born in Austria here, a lot of them are out of hand. Many girls that were born in Austria here, I'm not telling you that they are bad, but man, if you see their dressing, many of these girls dressed naked. Don't tell me it is because of summer. Many guys that are watching my videos on TikTok saw me there. Many guys, both women and men that watches me, my followers on TikTok saw me there, so they can attest to what I'm saying. Man, if you see our girls, young girls, you cannot believe both the ones that are very fat, the ones that are very slim, the ones that are fair complexioned, the ones that are dark complexioned, the ones that are tall black men. If you see with this their artificial whimper, man, if you see our girls, you'll be asking, where are their parents? I'm telling you, some were putting on only, they were putting on just like almost underwears. If you see their nails, if you see, I said, who taught these girls this kind of dressing? Where did they learn it from? None of them, that is 80% of them dressed inappropriate. 80% of the girls, black girls, African children that came to that tournament, 80% of them dressed naked. Now, does it mean that their parents are not seeing that what we saw? You see, even I spoke with one guy there. The guy saw, even the guy said, man, what's going on with this? I'm going to make a special video about it. One of my friend that I spoke to said, he saw them, he was even shaking his head. He said, why are men, where do I even start to talk? Well, and there are reasons why these girls are dressed the way they did. That is inappropriate dressing. See, in my tribe, they say women don't raise children. They say women don't raise children. Most of the children you see in Europe here, were raised by women. Most of the children you see in Europe here were raised by women. Some raised by single mothers. Men, these girls, in fact, I did not want to post the videos because my children said that they don't post it because it will be a violation of their privacy. My children said I should not post it. If you watch the video, so now I realize, now I know why our ancestors said women don't raise children. You see so many, and the thing is telling on our children today. You see so many African women that came here or their husbands brought here. First thing they have in mind after they get their papers is money. As soon as they have 2, 3, 4 children, they look for a way to fight their husband, drive the husband away, and start enjoying that kinder behavior. They start enjoying that child support the government pays. Also, many women that are living in Europe here don't respect men, their husbands. They don't respect the father of their children. The girls I saw yesterday at that African tournament festival, the girls, but I asked you if you are doing something in the kitchen. The girls I saw yesterday proved me right. You got it. The girls I saw yesterday, see, Many women you see here in abroad, in Europe, in America, 80 to 85% of them don't have respect for their husband. Some of the women drag rights, they fight, they compete with their husband. Yes. Who is going to be in charge? Who has control of the children? But because of the child benefit, many chose to divorce their husbands. Men, if I post the videos of, thousands of African children came there. If I post videos of even, if you watch fights, there was about these girls fought, disgraced themselves. Little girls of 18 years, 20 years, if you see fights, they lack manners. They fought police. I don't want to post police videos. The policemen were there. If you see fights, these children lack manners. They don't. You see the difference between white children and black children. There is no place you see black people gather that they don't fight. Very hard. Even if my son captured some sense on his telephone, I have some here on my telephone. So then I spoke with one of my friends, said, what's happened to us? Does it mean that we as parents, we've lost control of our children, especially the girls? I realized that they were raised by women. And this is the result. Some girls of about 16, 17 years, if you see their nails, their nails are so long. Even you wonder how they are eating, how they are washing themselves. If you see the hair they were carrying, their hair, if you see, all of them had whimpers like witches. I'm telling you, girls of about 15, 16, 17 years, some put on only underwears. Many of them were naked. Now, there were white girls there. White girls there. You can watch my video on TikTok or on YouTube. The white girls that were there all of them were seated quietly. They were sitting quietly, well dressed, well behaved, a lot of them. All they did was dance. They put on trousers. 90% of the African girls were naked. They dressed naked. Even there were so many of them, the fat ones among them, that were supposed to put on something to cover themselves. They did not cover themselves. You see some that is very fat ones, did not even, at least, Chef, I see you, thank you, I appreciate you. At least, when you are fat, when you are overweight, there is a way you present yourself. You understand me? To the public. Some very fat ones they were naked. Man, I said, that means their mothers or their fathers were not there when they left home. Or some of these girls are living on their own. Or some of these girls, thank you, I appreciate you, Chef B. Some of these girls don't have guardian. They don't have guardian. So, many women have used their hand to corrupt or spoil their children, where they are fighting over the children's rights with their husband. You get it? You see some women, when a man says, look at how I want my child, my daughter to be raised, the woman will object to it. This is how I want my son to be raised. The woman will object to it. There are so many women, they like to spoil their husband in front of their children. They disrespect their husband in front of his children. They tell them all sorts of things. When you put down the head of the home in front of the children, what do you expect? Men are supposed to be the head, the captain, the pillar of home. The person, this has nothing to do with civilization or westernization. There cannot be two captains in a ship. Some women are fighting to be captain of the ship. That is to be the pillar of their homes in abroad. A lot of women are doing it. You cannot play the role of a man in your home. There is a particular role men play in children's life. Don't joke. It's not. It don't. Sometimes I see some women say they are men and they are women. They play the role of men and the role of women in the life of their children. You are a liar. You are a liar. You cannot play the role of a man. You are a woman. You understand me? You cannot play the role of a man. We have our own characteristics, our DNA, the way we are, what makes us men. We have it. You don't have it. You get it now. So, go watch many of the children that did not grow up with their fathers, and many of them that don't have contact with their fathers. Many of them are wayward. Many, I'm not telling you all. Some do not have self-confidence. Women tend to show their children fake love. A lot of women show their children fake love. Every time you see them, they buy them fast food, buy them, give them money. This is not love. You are spoiling your children. Many men are strict on their children. That is, they want to raise their children in a way that they will know what is wrong and what is right. But women, a kind of act as if they love their children more than their husbands. Sometimes you will not believe that even a man made them pregnant for the children they are claiming. Sometimes the way some women are behaving, you will ask yourself, does it mean that she made herself pregnant? Where is her husband? And this is why sometimes you see some women who are online crying. People ask, what of her husband? Some men who could not take it left home, abandoned the woman and the children, and continued with their lives. Because some women are troublesome, they are problematic. Many of these women, they are very problematic. So, it is important, even if you are divorced with your husband, make sure your children have contact with their father. See, when I talk to my children, for instance, I'm talking about my own children now, you see them sometimes disagree with me. Most times when I talk to them, they disagree. They feel I'm so hard on them, and their mama, soft and lovely woman. Are you getting it now? My children see me as a very hard, that that this man is not loving. That's how they see it. But they are wrong. You have to teach your children that they cannot have everything in life. And you have to teach children that there are limits to what they can do. You have to also teach children that it's not everything they made a request that they are going to get. You have to teach children that it is not proper to dress however they want. Children in abroad, they have too much freedom that we did not have. And these are the things that made us responsible. Okay, Lion King, that is it. Lion King said before he knew that the father was very rich, it was when he turned 24. But the mom was the opposite. Lion King, this is exactly what I'm telling you. Women tend to show their children too much love, but this love spoils children. That act of love they show children spoils children. Many women give children excessive freedom. When they cry, they don't want to see their children cry. Let the child cry and learn. It is better for that child to cry and learn and know how life works. When they say, Mommy, I want €5 to go and buy fast food, you give it to them. Even when they tell like, Mama, I want €10, I want €15, €20 to go and buy, if they frown face, you give it to them. These children wouldn't know that it is difficult at times to make money. They don't know. So if the mother always gives them what they want, and the father failed to give them what they want, they will begin to see the father as a bad man. Not knowing that the father is the real person who wants to raise them properly. This is why you see today, most times you see children talk about my mama, my mama. They want to build a house for the mama. They want to buy a car for the mama. The mama stood. Men sacrifices much more than women for their children. But most men don't announce it to the children. Like, I am somebody. I cannot give my children, for instance, I'm talking about me, every month €200, €300, go and buy whatever you want. I can never do it. I cannot give my children every time €500, go on, this is summertime, go on vacation. Let me support you for your, let me help you pay your flight tickets to Greece or to Spain. I cannot do it. Let me tell you why. Instead of giving them money, wasting that money, I save that money and use them and invest in properties for them. Instead of wasting that money, I will use that money, invest for properties. I invest in properties for them. When they get to a certain age, like 25 years, 30 years, I call them. Even if they are seeing me as a stingy, wicked father, let them see it that way. I wouldn't waste my money in order to satisfy them. Like, Daddy, I want this. I want to go and buy this canvas. I want to buy this shoe. I want to go this. No. I'm not giving it to you. You get the basic things when you were a child. Whatever you wanted as a child, food, clothing, attention, I gave it to you. Now, if I have money, I cannot show you fake love. So if I have money, what I'm going to do is, I saved that money. I may use it to go buy land. Velvet, I see you. I use that money go buy land somewhere. Buy anything, real estate, or anything, whatever reasonable investment I can make. They may not even know, they may know. So when they are grown, like 25, 30 years, I show them. I say, come, my son, I'll use this to settle you. I know a family here. Sugarcoat, I see you. I know a family here. This family, they came here they came here around 1981. So when they came here, so, you know, the woman suffered so much in her home country, that she learned not to waste money. And the husband also suffered so much in his home country that they learned not to waste money. So when they came here, they got an apartment. They were doing, some, many jobs. All the money the woman got, their mother got, she did not spend it. The woman saved all the money she got for years. From that 1981, the husband did not know. The husband did not know that the woman was saving money. The children all complained that their parents were wicked to them. Their mind did not, that they were only eating bread and very cheap food. So, this woman they did not furnish their house. They had beds, they had kitchen, toilet and bedroom, basics in their home, but no luxuries. So, fast forward to 2000 or 2001. In Austria, before euro came, that is the currency euro, before we were using shillings in Austria. So, when they made the law that, when they introduced, euro currency, so they gave a deadline that anybody that was having shillings should go and convert it to euro currency. So, now, this woman then brought out close to 1 million shilling. That was either 2000 or 2001. Gave to the son to go and change. The son was shocked. The husband was shocked. She brought out close to 1 million shilling. The son was shocked. They went and changed that money. Got about 72,000 euros cash. They got about 72,000 euros cash. So, a woman, by that time, the woman, she had aged. She's late now, she had aged. She gave it to the husband. She gave the money to the husband. The husband ran to Turkey because they are from Turkey. The husband ran to Turkey with that money. Bought land, built duplex, bought more lands, many. After building his house with that money, after building duplex with that money, they bought land. They already had land before they migrated to Austria. So After building the duplex, mommy, I see you. So after building the duplex, I'm buying large parcel of land. The woman said she does not want to live here anymore. The man too said they have been away for a very long time. They decided to go back to Turkey. The woman later died and she was buried in Turkey, in her home. The son later died and he was buried in Turkey. You see, today many of them are living in Turkey. They usually come here and go. They come here and go. You see, today the children have a place they call home in Turkey. They have a very big house. They have investments in Turkey. The woman did not show fake love to her children by spoiling them with every deep request they made. That is, the woman did not give the children whatever they wanted, just to show them that she loved them as a mama. She was a realist. That is, she was realistic. You understand me? She did not. And today, every now and then, you see the children, every summer, they travel to Turkey, to their home country. And they are proud of their parents. Now, had it been that the parents, there are so many people who wasted money on their children, like whatever request their children made. They say, I don't want my child. This is why did I born the children? I want to suffer for them. I want to make sure that they have all what they needed. Some children, if you see their clothes, any request they make, you see that the parents fulfill it. Let me tell you guys a story, a real life story. You know, we learn every day. I'm talking based on what I saw yesterday. How so many black girls dressed yesterday during this African Nations Cup festival that was held in Vienna. One day, I had a passenger, a white person. I complained about how hard I had it. Like, I've been working so hard all my life. My parents left nothing for me. I started life with nothing. So I came here on my own. Even up till now, every day I toil now, night and day to make money. The man said I should be happy. I said, what do you mean? I said, there is no joy in suffering. He said I should be happy. You know, I'm somebody that likes to talk to people. The man said when he was in school, he had a friend, his best friend. He said that his friend, the father, was a millionaire. Listen to this story. You know, there were times when I get a passenger that has story to tell me back then. I'll park my car and we gist till the end. I'll listen to that story until the end before I keep driving, because you learn from those stories. So now, this man said he had a friend whose father was a millionaire here in Vienna. He said the boy never lacked anything. Said he witnessed sometimes if the boy say he wants to go to travel to US, the father will give him like 25,000 euros cash. He said even the boy took him along sometimes. 20,000, even sometimes if you want to go like travel to any place, it's from 30,000 euros. He said he witnessed it. He drove one of the best cars like Porsche. All those kind of expensive cars, Ferrari, that was the kind of car the guy drove. He said Each time the guy held a party, you understand me? That's come and see, that is the kind of people, personalities, rich children. This man said at a time he began to blame his parents for not making money. He regretted his life for not coming from a rich family. But then he had no other option than to work hard, than to keep fighting to be somebody in life. So he said when they finished school, that, contact wasn't so close. That their friendship wasn't as close as it was before. So he said he continued with the guy, that my passenger said he continued with his life. Ibra, I say you, I'm doing good. He said he continued with his life, started to work, got himself an apartment, kept struggling, to pay his rent, buy food, and take care of his family. He got married. He said, few years down the line, listen to this story. He saw that his friend, that is schoolmates, that is best friend, were at Bahnhof train station. What? Homeless, had junkie. This junkie, the guy then had become a junkie. That his best friend, that the father gave money, provided everything that he needed. He said after they left school, the relationship, the friendship now wasn't like before. Few days down the line, he saw that guy, homeless, a junkie. Useless. He said he called him. They spoke. What happened? He was having so much money, a spoiled child, having so much money that he did not know what to do with money, that he began to sniff all these kind of drugs. You see. All his life, he did not learn how to hunt for money. He does not know how to hunt for money. He doesn't know it. He does not know how to hunt for money. He ended up as a junkie. That is the disadvantage of providing everything for a child. See, if you are somebody that many years ago, I like watching wildlife. Wildlife. You see, there are so many things. If you are somebody who like watching wildlife, there are so many things you can learn from all those films they show on television about animals, way of living. When you look at all these carnivorous animals, all these animals like lions, leopard, and the rest. Let me use these ones as an example now. When they have a baby, at a certain age, you see them, whenever they want like a lion, a male lion or any of them, whenever they want to go hunt for food, they go along with their babies. Their babies would be watching, even participate in hunting down their prey. You get it now? Whenever you see all these lions, whenever they go, even eagles, I've seen how birds teach their children how to fly, how to hunt down prey. You get it? Yes. Especially tigers, even they will teach you how to go feed yourself. Go watch wildlife, how animals teach their babies how to go for hunting. Then you see human beings. You believe you are rich. You believe that you are a father, you are a mother. You don't want to teach your children how to go hunting, how to go fetch for what they eat. I have made many videos here. I said, listen, we are here today because of the background we came from. Many guys you see in abroad came from poor families. I've said it many times. And it was that poverty that galvanized us into action. Yes, it was that poverty that pushed us into action. We saw humiliation. We witnessed oppression. We were mocked at. We were laughed. We wanted to be like others. We wanted to tell people, look, at the end of the day, we still made it. So now I gave you example of even animals, how they usually, naturally teach their babies how to survive in the wide forest. But you as a human being, you don't know that when children go through tough times, when a human being is hungry, the brain begins to function properly. You don't know it. A hungry man's brain is very active because that brain will keep thinking on how to survive. A fed man's brain is lazy. You may not understand it. Why do you think people fast? People don't only fast as a result of religious beliefs or things like that. When you fast, you will see that your thinking will change. You'll be in another level, in another dimension. When you fast, it has nothing to do. You see some Christians fast, some Muslims fast, other religious groups fast too. But what I discovered, anytime I fast, even when I talk, I make a lot of sense. Watch people that are overfed. All what they do is they laugh and crack jokes. You cannot find smile on the face of a hungry man. You cannot find smile on the face of a man or a woman who is fasting. But you see a fed man or woman with big stomach, or any small thing, you see him laugh foolishly. I'm not telling you lie. You see a fed man, every small thing makes him laugh. A fed woman, every small thing makes her laugh. But a hungry person, thinks so much. How do I survive? How do I raise my family? How? When I was a young boy, one time my father said to me, sometimes you deny yourself food. It has health benefits too. It also has spiritual benefits when you fast. Guys, 1 second. It also fasting has health benefits and spiritual. Prince, I see you. Spiritual benefits. So, I'm talking as regards what I saw yesterday at African Nations Cup, which was held here in Vienna. how many of these young girls dressed inappropriately, the way they dressed. 90,000 of them dressed half naked, like sheep without shepherd. People that did not come out from home. Even it was too shameful. Growing up, women dressed, girls dressed. You may don't say that was another generation. Women dressed decently. Growing up, women dressed decently. Well, seems many of these girls were raised by single mothers. I'm not telling you that all single mothers are bad. They cannot raise. But many of them, children need the presence of their father in their lives. You get why? I'm not telling lie. So, as that tournament was going on, I met an old friend. We saw ourselves and we hugged each other. So the guy said, "Oh boy, you've stopped driving taxi for a long time." I said, "Yes. I have reasons why I stopped driving taxi." Now, he asked me if I remembered one guy, a taxi driver. I said, "Which one of them?" The guy that rode Mercedes then, that drove Mercedes then. He later began to drive Toyota Prius. I said, "Yes, I remember that guy." Because the guy, sometime, I think it should be this year, beginning of this year, I saw the guy at a taxi standplatz here. The guy was so emaciated, so slim. He wasn't looking healthy. He wasn't looking strong. I said to him, I said, "Boy, what happened to you?" The guy said he was sick for a while and he lost a lot of weight, a lot of weight. I said, "Boy, but then, if you were sick, why did you continue with this taxi driving? You know, this taxi driving is a dangerous job. A lot of people have lost their lives in this business." You see, the mistake people make is you competing with others, comparing yourself to somebody else. I've seen people that said they drove that taxi for 30 years, 35 years. Some they have done that job for 35 years, 30 years, 25 years. Nothing happened to them. Some drove it for 2 years, they died. Some 5 years, they died. Some 10 years, they died. 15 years, they died. We don't share the same DNA. We don't have the same kind of body. Somebody may be strong in car driving, that is, may sit for hours, for years, and nothing may happen to him. And you may sit for hours, for years, and that was going to be your end. So, now, as we were discussing, the guy asked me if I still remembered that guy. I said, when he gave the description of the guy and told me some certain events that happened, and then I remembered. I said, "Yeah, I remember that guy. Very nice guy, gentle." The guy liked discussing politics with me. Each time we had no passengers, each time the business is slow, the guy would jump out of his car and we would begin to discuss about politics and the rest of them. He told me that guy It's late. The guy has died. The guy is dead. I said, what? He said, the guy is dead. And one other man too, gone. 2 taxi drivers. So this particular guy, who was a gentle guy, he married a Poland woman with about 2 or 3 children. The children have not gone to Africa. And wait, and let me just. The children have never been to Africa. You know, we discussed about life generally, how we are going to retire home in Africa. And the guy built a house in Africa. He said he has built a house in Africa where he was going to retire, that he does not need much. He just wanted where he would retire when he grew old. Today, he is no more. That guy was a very nice guy. So when this my friend broke the news to me, man, throughout yesterday I was sad. I wanted to go live yesterday evening, but I was so sad of that bad news that I had. But then, you know, why I'm telling you this story is, know your limits in life. Know your limits in life. Don't compete with anybody. You should learn to know your limits in life. Do what you can. You see, I'm somebody that is ready to return back to Africa. If it is granite, I will be eating and orange. I'm somebody who can adapt. Iron Man, I see you. I'm somebody who can adapt in any condition or any situation. To be frank, if it is orange or bread I eat in a day, that would be enough for me. Why should you end your life because of money? Men, I've said this thing many times. The most important thing is staying alive. Now, the family at home will take possession of his property. His children cannot inherit his property. His children may never go back to Africa again in life. I'm not sure the Poland woman knows his village, knows his state, or will ever go to see him. Go to his, because probably the guy was buried here. So all the hard work, all the money he made for his family. And maybe there are people, there are some of his family members that he is not in talking terms with, he doesn't speak to. He may have some enemies in his family, and these enemies are going to inherit his property, which means he suffered for his enemies. Are you getting it now? Which means he suffered for his enemies. Be wise. Be wise. I'm not here to discourage you. Money does not mean that you won the battle, you are a champion. Say you made money, you built house, does not mean that you are a champion, you made it. Somebody who is living, is alive, is a champion. You get it? Somebody who is alive is a champion. You got it? What's your goal? Man, if you are no longer there, especially men that are living in abroad, 1 second. But if you're talking in local voice, people are hearing your voice. Now, see, I've said this thing many times. The reality is, you see, many men that are living in abroad here, many men that are living abroad here, if you are no more, many of these women, whether they are black or white, may not take your children home anymore. Did you hear me? If you are no longer alive, your children may never go to Africa again. You are the one. That's why I said you are the pillar of your home. You are the captain. If you are no longer there, if you are married to a white woman, a black woman, depending, even African men that are married to African women, when they died, their women never even did not go to where their husband was buried or where the man came from. I know a lot of them. So, you win when you stay alive. Staying alive means you'll be there to take your children home, to go show them their origin, to go show them where their parents, their ancestors came from. But if you're not there, man, forget it. So while chasing money, always remember to stay alive. Anything that will cause you to die before your time, avoid it. Well, there are things I may not tell you here online, but when a father is not there, that home becomes dysfunctional. When a father is not there, you see a lot of the children become wayward. You see a child at the age of 13, 14 years begin to smoke. Women, many women cannot control boys. Forget these things you see women that do. Many women you see cannot train boys. That is, 90% of the women cannot train boys. No matter how you want to tell me. And many of the children, most children that became wayward, that got spoiled, it was caused by women. If you want to draw your son or your daughter, if you want to pull their ears, the woman will rush in between. Leave my son, leave my son, leave my daughter, leave my daughter. Some children need discipline. Children need training. Somebody said she did. I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you because I don't know who you are. I don't know the effort you put in raising your child. But I'm telling you, most women cannot raise even girls and boys, especially boys. There was one lady, this is why I tell you, there was one lady, I don't need to call her name. She was Madame Tuno. This woman was Madame Tuno. Before you will say a word, she knows the answer. She knows everything. She used to come to my shop back then in 2003. Then my shop was at Sabatstrasse in 9th District. She was like, she does not need any man, to hell with men, and this is... Some of the women, they have the child, they want to play the role of a father, want to show the child that they love the child. I was looking at her, then I looked at her, she was always coming to prove that she knows it all. Few years before her daughter, she has only one. I don't know where the woman is now. Before that daughter got to 14 years in Vienna here, she became pregnant. Gave birth. There was another woman that I worked with. This woman is from Caribbean. Her daughter got pregnant before these were single women. The daughter got pregnant before the age of 15 years. Many cases. When a child has nobody to fear at home, nobody questions the child. All what you know what to do, all what you know is to show that child love. How do you expect that child to know left from right? You always throw yourself in between a father and a son, a father and a daughter. And you expect that child to be useful. You expect that child to be that is well trained. No. So, what I'm saying this beautiful evening is, do you think, I'm asking women now, do you think you love that your child more than the father? Do you think you love that your child more? You don't love that your child more than, even men love their children more than the women too. Women are only soft-hearted. Yes, they are soft-hearted. Men love their children. Men even train children more better than women. Go and wash the plates. Go and buy the thing. Make sure you wash your clothes. How you are at school. If you see, at the age of 5 years, my father began to send me to go wash plates. In the village, they began to send me to go fetch firewood to use and cook. I began to go to the bush to go gather goat feed. What grasses that our goats were going to chew. I learned to hunt for what I need at an early age. You got it? So, this issue of I love my children, I love my this, spoils children totally. And don't always fall in between a father and a daughter, a father and a son. Leave her. You don't love that child more than the father. You don't. That is just being fake. You don't love that child more than that father. So, I was talking the story of somebody that's a taxi driver that died. So what I'm saying is this. In whatever you do, make sure you are alive. A living dog is better than a dead lion. At least, see here in Vienna, I know many children of mixed race who came to me, asked if I know their father. So many children have come to me to ask me if I know their father. I felt sorry for these children. One was even a footballer, played for the national team here. He saw me 1 or 2 times, asked me if I know the father. That the father left him when he was like 2 years. Then, it has to be, even if you are in Africa somewhere, instead of dying, you see, let me go even further. See, to live in Europe here, it's not actually easy. A lot of people don't know. You are more stressed in Europe here than in Africa. unless you planned your life very well. You are more stressed in Europe here than in Africa, unless you planned your life very well. People who are living in Africa, some people thought life is easier in Europe. It's not true. I will tell you why life is more difficult in Europe here, but you don't know it. See, here in Europe, let me tell you, there is nobody, I'm talking about African people living, white people living, foreigners too. There is nobody that is living here that is not living in a rented house. Some, listen, some bought their own apartments, but I'm talking about majority of people, Africans that are living in abroad. First of all, many of Africans that are living in abroad rented their apartments. Here in Europe, because I live in Europe here, how much is an average apartment? If you have many children, it will cost you like 1,000 or 1,200 a month. 2 rooms, a room and parlor will cost you like 800 euros, depending on the district you are living. If you want to take Gemeindewohnung, that is council house, okay, bit cheaper. Private house is like 1,000 euros, 60 quadrat meter, like 60 square meters. So the cheapest you can get is from that kind, 600, unless you want to live in one room. One room is not even cheap at all. Some one room is even, depending on the district, is even 700 euros. So a room is 700 euros a month. Now let me tell you why people die before their time in this abroad. Now you see, as you came here, you rent an apartment, you begin to work and begin to raise children. You have 800 euro rent to pay every month. Here in Europe, it is not like in Africa where you owe rent. That's 800 euro you pay in a month. People living in Africa pay 800 euro for a whole year. Listen, life is about how fulfilled, how comfortable you lived it, not how stressful you lived it. I later realized it. Now, as a man or a woman who is living in Europe, because people see it as a thing of pride. I'm living in Canada, I'm living in US, I'm living in Austria, I'm living in Germany, I'm living in UK or Spain. You forgot that living in abroad is equal to living in bondage to some people, not to all. Yes. Life of stress. All through your life, you must go to work in order to pay your rent. You see why I told you that life in Europe is not easy. All through your, as far as you don't own that apartment or that house, till you go to grave, you must work to meet up. There is a man here. This man is about 75 years old. He is still driving taxi, one of my friend, a white man. He said he's going to end his life inside the taxi because there's no other way. Tell me how you want to escape stress in Europe here if you don't own your own apartment or your own house. 2 months of not paying for your apartment, they send you away. You become homeless. You see, this is why you see people stress themselves to death in abroad. There is no peace for anybody. How yes, you say you are living in maybe a country, the government supports you. Government will support you for a while, and they will tell you to go and look for work. You return to square one. You start looking for work. That's stress. If you go through stress all through even some people got retired, they are still working because the money they are getting from pension is not enough to pay their rent. I'm telling you what I've witnessed. The money they are getting from their pension is not enough to pay their rent. I know taxi drivers, their rent, cheap apartment, the cheapest apartment is 650 euros. Their pension is 700 euros. Did you get the calculate it now? Their apartment is 650 euros. The money they are getting as pension is 700, some 750. So after paying for the apartments, they cannot buy food. But they have to live in Europe here. You see, so that forces them to keep driving taxi until they end their life inside the car. Listen, people don't know. See, I'm thinking now, the way I think is not the way a lot of people. Anything you are doing, life. See, let me keep talking. Now, sometimes I feel we are scammed. Yes, that's Europe. That is saying abroad. A lot of us, man, story plenty. Let me keep talking. So, you find yourself, and the worst that can happen to you, listen attentively, the worst that can happen to you is if you don't have European passports, man, you live, it's going to be hell for you. If you don't have European passports, if you are not a citizen of the country you are living in, you know that passport makes life easier for the holders. I'm telling you the truth. In this case, if you are a citizen, they're not going to feed you anything. But if you are not holding European passports, if you don't work for a while, they seize your visa, or they give you problem. You get it now. If you are not holding European passports, and maybe you take social benefits for a while, they begin to trouble you, or they may cancel your visa. You get it. So you are forced to keep working till the day. You may say, but the natives go through the same. It's not true. Let me tell you how. You cannot compare yourself to owners of the land. Many of them inherited properties from their parents. Many. It's just like your village. Many of us inherited land from our parents, grandparents. We have our village where your father built houses. When things are tough in the city, in the township, you can always relocate to the village for some time until you gather yourself. You may sell even, when things are tough in Africa, you may sell one plot of land, your ancestral land, use it and bounce back. You see it now. When things are tough in Africa, you can sell your ancestral land. Okay, now let me keep talking. But here in Europe, here you have no land to sell. You did not inherit any property. You understand me? So, you understand me? You are first generation immigrants. You got it now. Now, you discover that these people don't know that stress kills. People don't realize that stress kills. Yes. When you deny yourself, when you don't sleep, do you know how many years I was having headache because of lack of sleep? My blood pressure so high. You don't know. You see, some people say they are going to night walk. Night walk, you deny yourself what your body needs. It's not only food that your body needs. Your body needs sleep. Your body needs rest. Some people don't know this. Many years, when they were telling me that, look, too much work can kaput your body, I said, man, no, go forget it. I'm an African man. Man, you are a human being. Say you're an African woman. That person that is telling you African people are strong, that person is deceiving you. You are human like every other person. You get it? You are human like everyone. I know they agree. When they tell me, oh boy, like this, I say, no lie. Is it not to drive car? In 24 hours, I don't sleep up to 4 hours. Highest I'll catch 4 hours sleep. I'll be on the road. I did these things for many years. Man, if I tell you what's happened to me, some chasing money. I nearly had stroke. My mouth began to bend. My head began to bend. One of my eyes began to close. Was sitting like 14 hours, 12 hours inside car, say I was making money. You don't know. So, I disturbed too much until I spoke to myself. I said, man, no. So then, you see many people in abroad, they have no peace. Shukwe Bukandibo, I see you. One of the biggest trap in abroad here is the rent. One of the biggest trap that a lot of people don't know in abroad here is the rent. Elijah, I see you. The rent is the biggest trap. Because you must live somewhere. And that place you are living, you don't own it. Somebody else owns it. You must continue to pay rent. All the days of, even when you are 90 years, as long as that apartment or house does not belong to you, you must continue to pay that rent. I'm not telling you a lie. And that is what is, that stress in winter and in summer, you must go to work to go make money. Even some people tolerate a lot of bullshit. Shukwebuka, see you. Thank you, I appreciate you. So many people are tolerating rubbish, every nonsense, because they've got rent to pay. And if you have a wife and children, you know, if you lose your apartment, where are you going to sleep? So whatever they do to you, you endure it. What happens? Are you not living in bondage? Would you compare your life to that of the people living in Africa? Now let's look at those that are living in Africa. This is why many young men have died. If I tell you the number of African men that have died here, they are uncountable. Many men, many women you see are widows. So many women you are seeing are widows. Where are their husbands? Dead. Why? Because of stress. No. And this is why some men, especially when you engage yourself in an unhealthy competition, because you want to outdo, you want people to praise you, you must be making a mistake. When you engage yourself in, now this guy built this house, the gate uses a remote, they use the remote to open. For what? Are you that person? Why don't you be yourself? Well, let me leave that. I'm going to keep talking. Now, some people are saying, if I tell you my experience, some people are saying, yeah, why don't you come? Let me tell you. In Africa, many people that are living in Africa, to be honest, they are living in paradise, but they do not know. Leave them till they come here, they will live life of stress. All your life, it is only walk. Some people walked till they entered grave. Some people walked till they entered, even there was no time to enjoy. They did not enjoy this life they came. They did not enjoy this life they came. No time for enjoyment. Now let us look at, I'm telling you life stories. See, in Africa, to be honest, there are people who have 2-3 plots of land in the village. We are able to build bungalow. They farm on that land. They have economic trees on that land, like palm trees, breadfruits, oranges, pawpaw, banana, everything. You see them, they'll cultivate yam, tomatoes, everything on that. Whatever they want, they need for their, all their daily need, they get from their farm. All their daily need, they get from their farm. You see these people, some have what is called yam barn, where they store yams, tubers of yams. They have cocoa yam, they have everything. There are people in the village, whenever they are hungry, they go to their garden. Both pumpkin, all the vegetables they need to cook their soup, everything they need to cook their soup is there in their garden. The only thing they buy is like when they want to add like dried fish or meat, they go to the market. But every other thing that they need to survive is in their farm. Some self don't have electricity, but they are not going through stress. You discover that many of these people you look down in the village or in the city, Prince, I see you. Many of these people that are living in the township or in the villages are living more comfortable than fulfilled life than the people that are living in abroad. In the morning, you see them, they will sleep enough. When they wake up, around 11 a.m., that's when they will prepare their breakfast. The breakfast is not like this breakfast. We are eating only bread and bonvita and milk. They eat native food. They look for, some of them will boil maize or corn. I think maize, that's what they call it. They go to the garden and pluck their maize. And there is pears, ube, we call it ube. They will boil maize, full it inside the pot. Real African maize, natural one, not this one they want to do now. Boil maize. Boil pears, ube, our native African ube, pears. Sometimes they will send their son, the son will climb coconut tree, pluck down some coconuts. They pluck down some coconuts, break it, drink the water, use the coconut meat and ube and eat that maize. That's their breakfast. Do you know the health benefit of that coconut water? Penkila, I see you. Do you know the health benefit of that pear, that ube? And that natural maize. Not which kind of maize? You that say you are living in abroad, which kind of maize are you buying? The one in dozen, in tin maize. You don't know how long it has been there. And it is not organic. A lot of you are eating poison. And you believe he said, now you're there abroad. But the people who are in Africa that you look down on are living in paradise. See, this life is about what you enjoyed, what you ate, what entered your mouth. Not the building you have, not the car you have, not anything. What entered here. That's what you enjoyed. You don't understand. Because on the day you leave this earth, that building, you wouldn't know about it. That car and everything is what you enjoyed in your mouth. That's what you went to grave with. That's it. So these people you see in Africa, which somebody asks, what kind of food do you have in Africa? You don't have organic foods. The things they call you, they say bio. They call you, say what is it called? Bio food. It's all bullshit. In Africa, cashew trees, cashew. There are people that have cashew trees in their compound. And when you see this cashew, first of all, we eat that cashew before we break the nut to extract that cashew nut. First of all, we eat that main cashew fruit before we break the nut. Seafood. Now, you see, those people they told you, I told you, man, I don't want to talk about politics here. Those people, they told you, they said we are poor, but we are not poor. To be honest, I did not realize these things. Africans are not poor people. Africans are not poor people. Okay, the people that are telling us that we are poor, check their system. If you go to America, many of the citizens are living on credit. Car on credit. House on credit. The food they buy on credit. That is, they use their credit card to buy food. They use their credit card to buy car. They use their credit card to buy everything. Before the month ends, before their salary comes, the bank will take everything. They are living on credit. And they keep servicing their credit till the day they pass on. And these people that all their life they are servicing credits, paying credits, are telling you, in Africa, we have no credit. We are not owing anybody. Are telling you that you are poor and you believe them. And you believe it. Somebody said in abroad, food that you can avoid. There are so many food you can avoid in abroad. This is not the topic. The day we will run that topic, then I will address that issue. Now we are not talking about food. Whenever I come online, I pick a topic and I address that topic. We are not talking about food now. So, you realize that they are calling a poor man, somebody from a poor person. You are not poor. So many people you envy are dying in silence. That is, they are paying credit. They will pay credit till the day they go to grave. And they're calling you that is not owing anybody, a poor person. That have land is because of ignorance. Ignorance is what made us to live our paradise. Can and sugar, see you. Ignorance is what made us to live what belongs to the cool life we are living. To go put ourselves in slavery. I remember the kind of life, even while poor, I did not stress myself the way I stressed myself in Europe here. This is why if you go to many villages, see how people are dying before their time in Africa. City stress. You can liken the same abroad stress now to big cities in Africa. If you watch many of these cities we have in Africa, you discover that the people that are living there go through a lot of stress. People that are living in remote villages don't go through a lot of stress. Now, when you want to live in the city, human desire is insatiable. You always want. So you want to live in rich neighborhood. You want to drive expensive cars to impress people. You want to meet up to pay your rent if you don't own it, and blah, blah, blah. You see, you on your own put your life under stress. Now you discover there are people in Africa. If you tell them to come to abroad, they will tell you they have nothing to do in abroad. Some people went to the cities, big cities in Africa, saw the stress there, ran back to their homes, to their towns or their villages, said they could. I've seen so many people say they could not withstand the stress of the city. Talk of abroad home. We are talking about their home countries. So you discover that in Africa, you see, some of us, there are people that we are lucky. Their parents built houses for them in the village, some in the township. Some parents built houses for them in the village, some in the township. There are some of us, some people that their parents left land in the villages or in the cities. You see, they did not see these things as an opportunity. They did not see these things as a great opportunity because they don't know how to make use of these opportunities available to them. They don't know. Your papa built house in the village. In the village, depending on the kind of village you come from, in the village, you will no longer pay rent. People that live in the villages, they live very long life. If they take, I'm not talking if you are living rough life in the village. Now your papa built house in the village that you wouldn't be paying rent, for instance. In the city, there are people that are lucky. Their parents built houses in the city, in township, that in the village you are not paying rent. In the city you are not paying rent. And a lot of them, their parents have businesses, shops, and things like that. You left this paradise, say you want to come Obodo Igbo. You see it? You left all this paradise. Say you want to come Obodo Igbo, you want to come Europe. First of all, you start going through the stress of documents. That one will drain you. You start by going through the stress of documents. Police harassment. You'll be running out with police. When they catch you, you'll be hiding. Stress number one. Or you end up marrying a woman that will make you a slave. She'll be ordering you about in that house. Don't forget, you are supposed to be a king in your home country, where you don't pay rent, you don't pay rent in your father has shop. But because you want to, other people are in America, they are in Chicago. Other people are in Chicago, in Oklahoma, in New York. You carry yourself, you go throw yourself into stress. That if care is not taken, you go through that stress all the days of your life. You see it. And so many people died in that process. Some people saw road, entered forest. You see it. Some people have eyes, but they cannot see. Some have ears, but they cannot hear. I dropped a video one time. I said, if my parents were rich, man, what I went through, I wouldn't go through it. The insult, the humiliation, the suffering, and the dissing, I wouldn't go through it. Some people thought I was joking. Why should I risk my life if my father had a house in township, we have businesses? How come police will be stopping me on the road and I'll be laboring myself? working as a slave, night work. We are business people that sometimes the whole night you will not sleep. You keep awake, say you are working night shifts from the whole day. That is hell now. Now, you discover that some people left paradise to hellfire because of greed or because they are in competition. They don't want their friends or people they know to outdo them. Okay, that person you are competing with, you say that has built whatever house. You don't know the day the person will die. You don't know how long he's going to live. You don't know your own blessings. You don't know your own gifts. You are running your own race. I realize this. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm living my own life. I'm living my own life. What I need is, if I can solve my problems, like if I'm making money to be able to buy what I need, my rent, my whatever, I'm good to go. I'm good to go. I'm not, your money is not mine. So you discover that many people that are living in Africa are in paradise, but they do not know that they are in paradise. Until I saw a video of a woman. This woman told the story of a man who was married to his wife and children. I saw it on TikTok. He said this man sold his house of 20 million Nigerian currency, relocated his wife and children to United Kingdom. As they relocated, the wife has no job. He's running up and down to pay rent and pay the children. At the time, the man lost his job. And as the woman said that she was making that video, they are about to divorce. She asked, why then did the man sell his house to come to you? You are already married. You have a house already. What are you going to UK to do when you are already established? You have your own house. So you sold the house to go to UK and come again and buy a house. You see foolishness. There are people, to be honest, who have been in abroad for 30 years. They have no plot of land. There are people, you only saw the people that made it. How about those who did not make it? There are people that have been in abroad, they don't have a single room in Africa. Some people are already fulfilled in life, but they don't know that they are fulfilled. Because you see people in abroad, they come to Africa and oppress you. Did you know? The reality is, there are some people that are stuck in Europe here. So many people don't have money to buy flight tickets and go back and visit their parents. You don't know, sir. You are seeing cap and show and clothes and all this fake lifestyle people are posting. Some people spend 2 years, 3 years, they have no money to buy tickets. They have documents. But to save that money and go to Africa, not everybody. There are people that cannot afford it. But you want to come. Oh yeah, come now. I'm not telling you not to come up, but be prepared for stress. Even as I was talking to my friend yesterday, there are some people that worked very hard. We must admit it. Some people are lucky in this abroad. Some people worked very hard, built built duplexes with swimming pool. I know many. They built duplexes, but they are not living in it. Many built these houses. Many built these houses, did not live in it until they died. But in abroad, they are going through the stress of paying rent. But some have 10-bedroom duplex in their villages or in their home countries, but they are not living it. But in abroad, they are living in 1 or 2 rooms. If you know the stress, this is what I continue to call slave mentality or colonial mentality. You have paradise and you are living in hell. You have 10-bedroom duplex mansion with swimming pool and you are living in 1 room. You have a duplex with 5 toilets or 4 toilets and you have only 1 toilet that everybody is using where you are living in the name of abroad. If I talk, you say I'm talking. So, as I was speaking with that my friend, he said, many of the guys I know here, that when I was driving, they built these houses. They are not there. They are still here driving it. What is the, tell me the wisdom in it. Tell me the wisdom in it. That is, you labored in vain. You are not, when are you then going to, these are the reasons why I said, man, people, the foolish ones perish for lack of knowledge. Now that you are young, you are supposed to enjoy that house. When are you going to enjoy that house you built? Many guys that built these houses are in their 60s now. Some are in their 50-something. They have not even slept even a whole month in that house. Is it when you are walking with a staff, walking stick? That's when you go there. That time you will not even be able to climb that stairs. Is it when you are old? Now that you are young, you are supposed to enjoy that house you are in abroad. See, you built houses, you built a house to enjoy it, live there, enjoy the view, enjoy the apartment, enjoy every child. See, in Africa, if you have like 5-bedroom duplex, every child will have his or her own room. Everybody will have own privacy. Is that not private? Is that not paradise? Now, in Europe here, how many rooms are you living? How many rooms are you living in abroad? Maybe 1 or 2. If you tell me that you are living in 3-bedroom flats in abroad, you must be paying about 1,500, depending on the districts. How much is your salary? How much are you making? Unless you are a big-time businessman, okay, or businesswoman. Unless you are a big-time businessman or businesswoman. How much are you making? Did you build a house to live in it when you are old, when you are kaput, when you can no longer walk? I suppose you built a house to enjoy it during your younger days. When you look at it very well, you discover that the thing does not make any sense. It does not. Humans at times don't know what they want. And many people did things because they saw others do it. Yes, many people you see something like, because I don't build house in the village. Say, this guy they build house, they will follow. People follow others, compete with others blindly. I don't do it no more. I'm not part of it. I do what will serve me. You can talk from here to Olo. I do what serves me. And this is what Europeans are doing. You see them, they build small house, that small bungalow that will serve them. I'm not in competition with anybody. Yes, if you like, say this man has been in abroad for 40 years. He did not build house in the village. He did not build anything in the village. It's all bullshit. Talk what, I'm living my life, I'm happy. That is it. That you are stupid, does not mean that I'm going to be stupid. That you are foolish does not know. Why should I serve? In the first place, why should I? Why should I spend thousands of maybe 60,000, 80,000 euros to build a house in the village that I'm not living in? And then in abroad, I'm stressing my life to pay rent. And this is something that I don't know when I'm going to come out from paying the rent. And so many people keep paying the rent until the day they go to grave. And that house that they built in the village, they did not enjoy it. If you ask them, they say it is their tradition to build house in the... Which tradition is that? Which tradition that tell you that you must build when you are living in... Go watch, if I show you, pick a video of African children in Vienna. If you see children that were born in Vienna, I did not know, I was shocked. Many people you see here, the reality is they are not going anywhere anymore. Many people you see here that relocated, no. Many people you see in abroad are not going back anymore. How do you want to go back? How? So, now that you are still alive and you still have a chance, make the right decisions. Make the right decisions. Unless, and this is why I always say, man, let's pray for life. Let's pray for life. Life will be easy. If you are alive, your things will not get lost. If you are alive, your things will not get spoiled. Okay? Adi iri azu onye mwanya. Okay? Adi iri azu onye mwanya. If you are alive, nobody will steal from you. Nobody will take your thing. Your things will not get lost. And I've learned in life to run my race. Stay on my lane. I cannot be on my lane and enter another person's lane. 100 meters, have your lane. Run your race. I cannot leave. Shinazo said he disagrees with me. Shinazo, let me tell you, I cannot deceive anybody, but I do what I feel is right for me. There are two things there. Either you live in Africa or you live in abroad. When you invest in Africa, if you are no more, who is going to inherit all these properties? When you invest in and you have children that were born in abroad, you are no more, who is going to inherit those properties? Number one. Who will inherit that property? Don't say I'm discouraging you. Don't say I'm discouraging you. But think, like, we held African Cup of Nations yesterday in Vienna. To be honest, the number of African children I saw in Vienna was shocking. That is, the number of, this only Vienna, only the people that came out. The whole stadium was filled up with only African children. That is, they spoke Dutch, even they spoke Viennese dialects. They spoke Viennese dialects. You discover that many of these children, 90% or 95% of these children, these are about how they were dressed. Anybody. If you see, many of them were naked. They have no African mentality. They are just doing their thing. These children are just doing their thing. Now, I am not telling you not to, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you not to build house in the village. First and foremost, build house in the village if it will serve you. I cannot build house if that house will not serve any purpose for me or my children. Now, imagine living in Europe for over 30 years, now on the road to 40 years. If I had built a house in the village, that house would be lying wasted there. If I had been living majestically, man, I see you. If I had built a house in the village, that house would be lying wasted there. There was one. My father built his own house. Number one, my father built his own house. And this built-in house, when we talk about parents, see, depending on your position in the family, I've addressed this issue many times. You know, some people may like to argue. See, if you are not the first son of the family, depending on your tradition, if you are not the first son, maybe you are the second son, or the third son, or the last son, and your parent, your father, was unable to build a decent house. Maybe you, as the second son or the last son, you take it upon yourself to pull down your father's compound, excuse me, and build a decent house for your father. Be prepared for war. Be prepared for war, because when your father and mother pass on, especially your father, the first son will step in and claim that building. By the time the first son will step in to claim that building, you may not be in a position, or you may not have the financial power to build another house. The thing will end in family fights, family battle. Unless you are a millionaire, that is, you have money yafu yafu, that is, you have too much money, wahala no day. You get it now. Unless you have so much money. Now, so when we Farida said that she is the eldest, she wants to claim all. You see? Okay. Another thing is, sometimes one need to know where the person want to be led to rest. You see, I've met people here. We are talking now, this program is for matured men and women, not for children. I've seen some guys here that said if they pass on, they want to be buried in Vienna. I've seen some people who said they don't want to be buried outside their homeland. Now, listen attentively. Even I've met some people that even have insurance. That even if they die in Africa, they should transport their corpse, bring it back here. So it now depends on where you want to be led to rest, where you want to be buried when you pass on, when you die. If you want to be buried in your village, then this is the reality. I've seen many black people were buried in Vienna here. It's no joke. Many black people that died were buried. Only the Igbos take their corpse, the corpse of their people home. Many other tribes were buried here. Many other tribes, when they die, they bury them here. Many people that I know, only Igbos take the corpse of their dead ones home. I'm telling you. Even so many people that died, so many, both men and women, from South Africa, from Kenya, from all of them were laid to rest here. So, okay, there was one woman from South Africa. She was married to a white man, had 2 sons. They married for many years. When she died, she was buried here. A woman that came here in 1985. Some already have grandchildren. So, okay, let me tell you the story. There was one man here, a Yoruba man. He came here in the 70s. Okay, he came here in the 70s. He had his children. When the man died, the family and the brothers here, that is, even the brother spoke to me. The brother, one of the brother is a taxi driver. He spoke to me. This was a man that, I'm telling you, people that I know personally. So, this man came here in the 70s, married a Yoruba, he's a Yoruba man, married a Yoruba woman. Eventually around, let's say, when did the man die? The man died around 14 years or 15 years ago. The man died. Now the family of the man, that is the brothers and the relatives, not the children, the family members, wanted him to be transported to Africa. The wife and the children said no. The children said they want their father to be buried here. The family, the brothers, removed their hands. The man was buried in Vienna Friedhof, Simmering. That is cemetery here in 11 districts. Now, the children argued that they do not have time to be traveling to Africa, buy flight tickets to Africa to go visit their father's grave. Many of the children have never even gone to Africa before. So why take their dad corpse to Africa? You see, the children, they have reason why they said they don't want their daddy's corpse to be taken to Africa. Now, what happened next? After the man was buried here, the wife traveled back home. Guys, are you listening? The wife traveled back home, sold everything the man acquired, brought the money here. brought the money here. In the first place, I know the children. The children have never been to Africa. And if they should travel, if they want to travel to, they know nobody in Africa. So if they want to go to even their father's compound or go to their father's grave, who is going to assist them? Maybe the father comes from the village. How do you expect a child that was born in Vienna here does not know all these tricks and wickedness of family members? Some family members may even harm them. Let me tell you a story. There was a man here. The man, I don't know if the man is still alive or not. David, I see you. The man, I don't know if he's from our region. So this man had 3 beautiful children. I know this man way back 1995, 96, even the children, they were beautiful children. One of the daughters was into music self. The son has a son and two daughters. I think the man said he had the children in Macedonia. Later they came to Austria. After Macedonia, he had the children. After so many years of suffering, making it, he got documents. After so many years of getting documents, this man now decided to take his children to his family, to Africa. Family member, to go show his children that he gave birth to in abroad to his family. Did you know what? To be honest, these children came. They became mad. As I'm making this video, what the first daughter is still walking around the streets, mad. They were not able to cure that one. That one, I've not seen that woman now since, maybe I don't know if she's still dead. The son, nobody knew about the son. Nobody know. They became mad. From Akwa Ibom. Ask people who know the thing. We didn't hear about, I don't know if the man went everywhere to know how to look for how to, save the children. He went everywhere. They said one survived it, but I don't know. The other one, that one, I saw that one last about, when I was driving taxi about 4 years, she's carrying load. Completely, that is literally mad woman, African mad, on the streets of Vienna. You see. Life, I'm not telling you, old schools here may know the woman. I'm telling you life information. There are some people, when you go to, especially if you have been here for a long time, be very careful. If you have been abroad for a very long time, be very careful when you approach those people in the village. You need to be very careful of your brothers and your sisters, envious people. You know why? Why you need to be very careful is, whenever you go back after 30 years, 35 years, those people in the village have assumed that those land belong to them, especially family land. Don't forget, it's a new generation that do not know you. 25 years makes a generation. 25 years makes a generation. If you've spent 25 years in abroad, you are returning home to meet another generation that does not know you. You don't understand. Yes. You are returning home to go meet another generation that does not know you with a different mentality. That person you call a brother or that sister you are calling a sister, already that person has grown children. Some don't have what to give to them. Don't have land for the boys. Get my point very well now. You see, a brother who has children but has no inheritance that he can leave for the children. knows that you still have to share from your father's inheritance, and you have been away for a very long time. Listen to me. I know some people like to argue. When you are returning back home, will be a threat to that your brother, or that your sister, or that your half brother, or that your half sister. That is why they say a man's enemy are members of his household. They know your demise will guarantee them inheriting family property. That if you are no more, they will claim all the family property. You foolishly, they say your brother, your brother. Many went home like that. They did not come back, to be honest. You need to be wise when approaching those people in Africa. Whether it's your brother, your sister, that is, don't be deceived. Don't be deceived into believing, say this is your brother. You see, when I'm telling you something that I've witnessed as an old school here, and you will be here, somebody will go back to Africa, say the person will not come back. A healthy man, somebody that was not sick, will go to see the family members, will not. You know where people make that mistake. Somebody will be saying, hey, this is the. You know why people make the mistake? You left your borders open. You trust easily. See, when you go to Africa, don't embrace any family member. Don't go close to them. Don't eat with them. Don't be foolish. Say, let them not think you are let them suspect you, but be alive. Let them suspect you. Let them say, now you've changed. You are no longer like, let them say it, but be alive. Don't be, see, that's your family compound. When you know that, see, do you know the people that attack you the most? You know where your problem comes. People that will inherit your thing if you're no more. These are the people you need to watch out for. You need to be very careful. Anybody that will take the name of a brother, a sister, anybody that if they don't see you, will take your thing, don't near that person. Don't, whether brother, sister, no matter how they act, anybody you know that if anything happens to you, they will grab your thing. If that person gives you water, don't drink it. If he give you food, don't eat it. Don't sleep in that person's house. Say Uncle RODDY says so. Agamatu yegazu neesi moru. You got it. Agamatu yegazu neesi moru. So, you see some people will foolishly even somebody gave me a gist some days ago. Somebody gave me a gist. If I remember that gist, a man that went home did not come back. I've seen more than 10 cases in Vienna here. Now let me tell you, because this is for matured minds. This program is not for children. If you like, be naive. I'm in my 50s now. I don't see. Even I've told you guys that many guys you see in abroad here that are in abroad stranded, they use juju, keep people for abroad, don't come home. Many people you see here are suspended. Now juju, they keep people. It's inside a joke. I'll bring people up. Let me finish this topic now. I'll bring people up. After I'll tell you to make a request. Let me finish. Now. So let me tell you what you should know, what you should be very careful of. If you have, maybe you inherited a property from your father, you've not shared family land. You've not shared family land. Or you've shared family land and you built house on it, but your wife and children are in abroad. Your children were born in abroad and things like that. They have not gone home and things like that. Let me tell you, if you go home, you see this today's brother and sister, avoid them. I'm not sowing seed of discord, but I'm telling you the reality. Life has no duplicate. The heart of man is wicked. Life is no longer that brother of those days. It's no longer. Many people, all my life, I've never slept with. See, if I don't have money, I sleep in hotel. If I don't have money for myself, if I don't have enough money to rent a hotel, a decent hotel, I'm not going. I don't stay in anybody's house except my own house. I don't call anybody to stay with him. Now, if you know that your wife and children are in abroad, whenever you go home, avoid family members. You may not understand this. You see all this, let's go and eat, drink, avoid it. They may poison you. And they know if you are gone, your wife, fear no go grieve your wife. Your wife, fear, would be scared of coming back. And your children that were born in abroad can never come back to come ask for their papa's property in the village. They know it. Your children, even if they are grown men, they don't know the way to their father's village. If they even do, they fit use juju, they pursue them. Life first and be very cautious. Now, so, you see, if you have not built your own house in your village, listen attentively. If you have not built your own house in the village, and you plan to go to Africa, to go share land with your family members, with your brothers, or with your sisters, depending on the kind of family you come from. But 90% of family members are bad. See what to do. Anytime you want to go, maybe you want to go and share family land with your brother, your sisters, or family members. Don't go sleep in your father's house where those your brothers, everybody is. If you have money, go stay in a hotel. If you have a reliable friend that they don't know, go to that friend. Don't sleep in your father's house. Many went, say my papa house, they harm them there. Have money for hotel. From hotel, with security, be going to the village. This issue of let's drink while I cook food, I bring food for you, my brother, my sister. If you eat them, if you eat that food, I tell you. Another one they cannot touch is land you bought with your own money. You have documents. Still, you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful if your wife and children don't know where this land is. Ayeri, maybe you are new. This is how I advise people here. I'm not telling you a lie. Many people have gone home. That is, in the name of brother, sister, everybody, they did not come back. I've, man, sometimes I don't have the strength to tell stories. If I start telling you stories, some people whose children are stranded here in Vienna because their parents, their fathers went home but could not come back. Their fathers went home but and did not come back. Today, you see a brother and a brother fight over family land. Now, your brother that you ate in the same plate with, slept on the same bed, today you are core enemies because of family land. Step brothers, cousins, fight over family. They are ready. Watch videos now. It's like some of you are. Don't be naive, oh. Don't come on social media and be playing my family did this. There are exceptions. That exceptions are in a family where people are doing very well. Like you see brothers that are, most poor brothers or poor sisters are desperate. They want to survive. Their eyes, their wish is, make this my sister, make this my brother, make this person, they don't want you to come back alive. So they will grab, they will use your thing to save their lives. So that they will use your thing to bounce back in their life. But God will not allow them. Now, anybody who wants to come, make a request, you make a request, I'll bring you up. You can make a request now, let me bring you up if you want, or else I'll take a break. If you want to make a request, you make a request now, I'll bring you up. You say your mind. So, that's it. Well, guys, you can rewatch this program on my YouTube page at Uncle RODDY. Don't forget, I'm broadcasting live on TikTok and YouTube now. I'm not broadcasting live on Facebook anymore. So, whenever you miss my live broadcast, you can rewatch it on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, let me hear from you, please.
Yeah, Uncle, good afternoon. Good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Chiazo.
Okay.
Some things you said here is not real.
Okay.
When last did you visit Africa? When last did you visit Africa?
You don't need to ask me when last I visited Africa. Tell me what you came up to tell me. Say your point.
Okay. First one, you said you don't need to invest in Africa.
I did not say you don't need to invest in Africa. I didn't say it. Did you listen to my video? I did not say you don't need to. I didn't advise people not to invest in Africa. Then keep talking.
Okay. The second one, you said when you go home, they will do you juju, something like that, you know. Uncle, things like that is normal again. You were talking about 30 years ago, people used to do juju. Now Africa has raised up. It's not like before, people used to do juju, trying to poison somebody. It doesn't work that way this time around. Because a lot of things has exposed. If you see Yahoo boys, everybody, they are making money in Africa, living large. I don't see that. I went to Africa. Last year, I went to Africa. I don't see such a thing in Africa. They welcome me like a good brother. I never see such a thing. Somebody is poisoning you. When you go home, they like to poison you, this and that. I never see such a thing in my life. I don't know why you keep saying such a thing. Trying to poison, people in Europe, try to, scare them not to go back to home. It's not fair.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, now let me tell you something. See, We all came from different families, and we've all had different kinds of that you went to Africa or that your family is good does not mean that every other person's family is good. As I'm making this video up till now, people still get poisoned, people still get kidnapped. Please mute your telephone so that people will be hearing us. People still get kidnapped, people still get poisoned, people still get robbed. And there are people that traveled to Africa, their brothers did them harm. And I make videos to caution people. These things are real. There are people in the families that are after another. It keeps happening. Now, even recently, there is a boy whose building was brought down by stepbrothers, family members. So, this land dispute among brothers is real. So don't come here to tell people that I'm telling lies when what... Now I gave you example of what happened in Vienna here, people that went home. So that even you one time told me that when you wanted to buy land, when you wanted to build house, your stepbrothers came against it. You said it one time. That where the land you wanted to build, your stepbrothers...
Let me complete what I was saying. Like you said, family is something. If you have some family like that, you don't need to mingle with such family. You need to stay away from them.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I said. I said if you have such... This is what I'm advising people. Not all families are good. I tell people if you go to Africa, I tell people if you go to Africa, keep away from... Even, how do you know a good family? You cannot even... Some people pretend to be good in order to get you and harm you. Let's hear from Mobile, please.
Okay, thank you. I have to go down now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mobile, let's hear from you.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
The previous brother, the first brother who come up, I would disagree with him. Just because if you are okay within your family doesn't mean people are okay with their families. You understand? So all I can say, my own side where I'm from, don't get me wrong, Africa is developing, things are okay. A lot of diasporans are investing there, me myself. But I've seen friends who invest there who lose their life because of their investment. You understand? The thing is, you got family members who are lazy, who don't want to do anything.
No.
They just sit and wait. They kind of like, okay, you know what? If this guy, we get him out of the way today, we're going to inherit all of his properties. You understand? Mm-hmm. They'll go by any means. Either they kind of like buy you or they find way to put sickness in you or something. They will make life miserable for you. Trust me, I've seen this a lot. I've got friends, cousins. You understand where I'm from?
Yeah.
So these things happen. It exists. Because it's only someone who moves you in and out will get rid of you or will try to put sickness in you or harm you. You understand? Mm-hmm. And now family members, it's not like 20, 30 years ago. You can see someone is your sibling. You understand? The same mother. But they would be jealous in you or they would be against you for whatever reason. You understand?
Yeah.
And you try to give to help the family. But trust me, if you decide like, you know what, I've got my own family, I'm done with this. Or you set some of your family members with businesses, yeah? When it fails, they still keep coming. The moment you say no, that's when the war starts. You understand?
Yeah.
So my brother, regardless how Africa is, how Africa developed, I go there every year. I've got land dispute with one of my family member. You understand?
Okay.
There is one old man who called me, says, son, you know what? It's not worth fighting for this land. Let go or something. If not, you will regret it. I have to back out because I love my kids or something. I want to be there for them. I've seen people go there, they came back, You know, they go mental or something. So what you're saying is exactly, your brother, maybe his family, everything is fine, which is good. You understand? But it doesn't mean everywhere is rosy or something. No way, no way. These things happen. You understand? They still happen in Africa. People go there, they never came back, you know? So what he says, for me, I don't eat what people cook when I go Africa, except my mom. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't go places like friends cook meal and bring or let's drink or now I'm not into those things. Anything I can drink is you have to open it in front of me or something else. Because you kind of like, oh, you know, I'm from the West. These things don't exist. I don't believe it.
It exists.
It's your choice. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But for me, I have to safeguard myself. I have to take care of myself because once you in, man, you start regretting, oh, I wish I didn't eat that food. I wish I didn't do this. It's too late, you know? So, bro, I'm sorry, lucky you, your family, maybe everything is going well or something, but trust me, I've seen families fighting wars, killing each other to inherit properties. Understand? That's just the system there. You still got bad people there, you know? You still got bad people. Some you can't identify who is who or something. They will laugh with you, but behind you, trust me, bro, they will put down nothing, you know? So, let me give, okay, is anyone there to...
Okay, good. Thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you, Mobe.
No worries, bro,
See,
no worries.
you see, listen, it's not everybody that's going to make it in life. This is the reality of life. When you look around you, wherever you live, you discover that there are rich people and there are poor people. In every community, in every state, in every town, in every country, and in every family. We don't have the same intelligence quota. Our destinies are different. There are people who came to this life with wealth. There are people who are favored. That is, wealth is their portion. They are money men and women. Now, there are people who achieved success by working hard. Now, there are some useless brothers and useless sisters, useless uncles, useless nephews, cousins, and the rest of them. There are lazy people who were not able to plan their life very well. Now, let me move this in so that... So, there are lazy people who cannot plan their lives very well. Lazy family members. Some did not work hard. Some did not take the risk you took. Some were not able to take the risk you took. Some led a very useless life. Some womanizers. Some women love men. Some women sold their house, their own inheritance, all they made and gave it to men. There are some women, your sister, somebody you know, that all the money she made, men collected the money from her. At the end, those men abandoned her. She has no place to run to except a brother or a sister that is doing well. There are brothers, they are junkies, alcoholics, that is drunkards, never do wells, lazy, never fought for anything in their life. When they fail, their eyes will be on the properties of their sisters, their brothers, their family members. They have no chance. Listen, a man's enemies are members of his household. They know they have no reason to go to another person's land, house, or property. That person will not mercy him or her. So they use that influence of my brother and my sister. They use that influence of this is my brother, this is my sister. And they know if you are out of the way, they will grab your thing. I'm not going to repeat this thing again. Be careful and be watchful. Don't tolerate such people around you. Now me they tell you. Don't be naive because of social media. Come they tell us, say your family, they good. Many people you see today, the greatest battles they have fought in their lives came from family members. Many people you see, both men and women, the greatest battles they fought in their lives came from family members. After family members, then close friends. A stranger who does not know you have no time for you. Be wise. I'm not going to too much talk this. So, I want to end this broadcast here. If you want to play with a sister, go there, may they give you food, make you eat. Go there. Go. If you've not shared family, after from abroad, they know you have financial power to build house. You have more money than them. They don't have money to even do a foundation. They know you from abroad, you can make money. Go there and be drinking palm wine with them. We go hear the results. We go hear scores. You say no, they hear word. Let me tell you now again, that brothers of those days when we were small, they are no longer the same brother like brothers of today. Brothers of today and sisters of today, especially when your brothers and sisters have their own children, that they don't know how to settle these children. They were not able to make anything for these children. Do you want me to go further? If I see, let me leave it. Well, guys, if you see me for the first time, don't forget to follow my page. You can go to my YouTube page and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can rewatch this broadcast on my YouTube page. Well, guys, I want to bring this broadcast to an end. I don't like sitting for a long time. There is a guy from Zambia here, Gambia. I will tell you guys the story of this guy. I will remember it. People have gone through hell. Even Ishmael Jallo, a follower of this page, told his story. He said the house he built in Gambia, family members did him juju. The guy that is living in Sweden, one of the days when he joined, a lot of you know Ishmael Jallo from Gambia. He said it. He said they did him juju in the house he built in. Who are the people? Family members. Please. He said he doesn't want to go to Africa. I encouraged him. I said, go back. But be careful. Being careful doesn't harm you. I'm telling you, just be careful when you go back. Anybody that says you trust your brother, go and embrace him. If he give you a gusi and a onubu soup, eat. We go later hear scores. Shinazo, Ishmael Jallo is a core follower of this page. He has said it many times here. I don't tell propaganda stories. And so many people have come here to tell their stories. And some of my core followers, if they are here now, you will read their comments and you will see them make comments. So, With this, I want to bring this broadcast to an end. He who has ears, let him hear. If you don't have ears, oh yeah, leave them like that. If you go to Africa, they drink the palm wine, they eat the ogbono soup with them. We go hear skulls. I see you. So guys, we're going to see ourselves later tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to drop a lot of videos. I'm going to make a lot of comments. Man, yesterday I did not go live because of the match we went to watch, African Cup of Nations in Vienna. Because you're supposed to get the point now. If I begin to tell you guys the stories I've heard from people, you will be wise, or you go there wise by force. Or do I need to, if I tell you stories safe, but the thing is not all families, so, but how many families are good? Very few. Very few. Well, guys, see you tomorrow. You can watch go to my YouTube. You can send this to, you can send this video to somebody else to save life. This video is permanently on my YouTube page. Catch you guys tomorrow. That's all we do. I'm here.